So the committee deadlines are really important at the Capitol. It's a filter for the work, meaning the bills that have been introduced. So bills have to proceed through various committees in order to kind of meet deadline. And what that means is, if you don't meet deadline with a bill, then that bill can't be considered later in the session. So we had two bills that had to make it through the policy committee process, and we had our bill that would simplify the advertising requirements. That bill was heard in the Senate and the House Commerce Committees, received broad bipartisan support, and now we're on the floor with that bill in both bodies awaiting final votes. So that's in good shape. We also had the designated agency bill, which we had a lot of discussion with the Department of Commerce and other stakeholders. We actually made it through the Senate Commerce Committee before first deadline, but that bill was referred to another committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee, which is pretty typical. The bills have to go through one policy committee. So we kept working with a short deadline to try to get agreement with the Department of Commerce on language, and we just couldn't get there in the time that we had. So that bill will not be moving forward this session. However, we are going to continue to work with the bill authors, with the department, with others on the language throughout the remainder of this session. And it's our hope that we'll get it in a place where we're ready to bring it back in 2020 and move forward with it at that time. Yeah, the paid family leave bill continues to move through the committee process in the House. Before I get to that, in the Senate, they have not had a single hearing on this issue, so the House and the Senate are in pretty different places on this bill. But on the House side, there's another hearing scheduled on Tuesday, March 26th, and we are hearing that there's going to be an amendment that will potentially address the independent contractor issue, which we've been working on with the author of the bill and with other stakeholders. So we're waiting to see that amendment. It probably won't be out until just before the hearing, so we won't know until the last minute whether we need to testify in committee about our concerns again, or if that will take care of it. So we're following it very closely. Yeah, there are always issues that come up kind of right around policy committee deadline time. A lot of times legislators will hear from constituents about an issue, and they'll drop a bill in, introduce it with no intention of having it heard this session. And there was one bill that came out right before deadline that was introduced that would require a gas fireplace disclosure for remodeling or when you sell a home. And I'll be visiting with the authors of that bill just to check in and find out where that's coming from. Obviously, that'd be a concern to us moving forward, that we would have to have a disclosure for gas fireplaces or other appliances. But those are the kinds of issues that pop up, and you see them in bill introductions and just kind of wonder where it came from. And typically it's a constituent issue.